Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. Hi, I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent, and also your host of the Beyond Emissions podcast. Every single week we have experts from around the world, our many manufacturer and vendor partners, their engineer teams, etc. Experts here in the industry that work at Soligent with you every single day in the field. We have experts from our customer base on as well. We've got a big brain trust here at Soligent's YouTube channel, available right on demand. Check it out, Beyond Emissions Podcast. And every week we ask this question: what does Beyond Emissions mean for you? Obviously, it's the environment, but there's the economy, there's national security. So much involved with creating this world that is beyond emissions. So today, without further ado, our special guest, as always, a mentor of mine, Brad Strillman, once said, there are 3 keys to success: have a plan, always be looking for new opportunities, and never stop learning. And that's what we're doing here at the Beyond Emissions podcast. Always learning. All of the new technologies available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below to find out more. Savant Power is a partner with us here at Soligent in creating a more efficient future for our kids and grandkids, a cleaner environment for our kids and grandkids. Also save money on your bill, turning every home into a smart home. We're going to talk to Matthew Willbanks today from Savant Power. He's the national sales manager there at Savant Power. Again, check out Savant Power. Click on the link below. Available here at Soligent. Find out more. Click on the link below. Matthew Willbanks, welcome to the Beyond Emissions podcast, sir.
Thank you very much, Josh. Thanks for taking the time and having me on your show. This is awesome. Thank you very much.
Hey, it's my pleasure to have you here, and our listeners, we are thankful that you've joined us. There's lots to learn about. But before we get started, the show is called Beyond Emissions. Our goal in this business is not just to make money and be successful. We want to do that as well, but we want to create a world, an emissions-free future, a world that is beyond emissions. What does beyond emissions mean for you, Matt?
Sure. No, it's definitely puts us in a unique perspective of understanding what that means, especially for so many of us, for obviously all our lives, have dealt with this in some form or fashion. And it's just seeing how much it affects us day to day. And, really seeing what we can do to start to make a change with that. So I'm proud to be a part of Savant and be a part of a solution that offers some of that insight or that next step for us to move forward and to be a part of that change. Very, very fortunate, like I said, to be a part of Savant and see that innovation that our founder has created and really see his direction and his ideals for moving towards beyond emissions. So just, think about all the changes that we have made in the past 20 years, making a cleaner place, more environmental friendly. I know for a fact it's made a big difference for me, especially with the pandemic and being cooped up inside. In the past couple of years, I've made some changes to get outside more, explore mountain biking, and really appreciate nature and what a difference it makes. And you really, once you get to start going outside, really start to appreciate these little changes that we can make. So, but yes, no, it's hopefully a brighter future for our family and my kids' families.
Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. Our special guest today from Savant Power, National Sales Manager, Matthew Willbanks. And I agree with you 100%. When you're out there in nature, especially after the pandemic, being cooped up like you were, I don't know about you, but, I love breathing clean air. I don't know about you, but I love, ecosystems
Absolutely.
working properly because we're not damaging them. Renewable energy is the key. And I think that our business really hyper focused on just get as many panels as you can on as many houses as possible. I think it was Governor Schwarzenegger, Arnold. I think he said something about like how many millions of panels do we want on our roofs in California? He set a goal. And, and we've done a good job of achieving that. I think there's still a ways to go. But just focusing on how much PV array we can put on a roof or energy storage we could get deployed, there's more to it. Another mentor of mine, Brooke Hanner at Offline Solar Electric in Mariposa, California, he taught me what a kilowatt hour is. I love that guy. He still works with us here at Soligent today. By the way, if you want to work with Soligent and Savant, click on the link below to find out more. Brooke told me in the beginning days when I was just learning the math of all this and understanding how to properly size energy storage, he said, Josh, you need to focus on the efficiency. If you could have half the size of the PV array, but get the customer to take their 1979 refrigerator and go trade it in for something that's more efficient, that's what you need to always focus on efficiency. I mean, if they've got nothing but incandescent light bulbs and they're burning 1,000 watts a kilowatt hour instead of, 10 watts or 100 watts or what have you, you get the point. Focus on efficiency. And
Absolutely.
It's Savant Power, that is your specialty, isn't it? Introduce our listeners who don't know about Savant, available here at Soligent, by the way. Click on the link below to find out more. Introduce our listeners to Savant Power and, efficiency, that's your game, right? Talk a little bit about that, Matthew.
Sure. So just give you a little brief history. Savant is making the home smart. And that was one of the things that our founder, Robert Madonna, has been working on for 18 plus years with Savant now. It's just efficiencies, how we go about in our daily lives of using our homes, our systems within the home, and just to improve functionality and efficiencies within that. So Savant was started as a control company making the home smart. And one of the things that Bob has discovered along the way is that obviously we can control and manage various things within a home, HVAC, and really improve efficiencies of cooling and heating up a home, just like you mentioned with lighting, making sure that our kids don't leave lights on in the rooms when we can put in some automation into that so that we can make sure that when the family's away, the home is in its most efficient mode with that. But he discovered that ultimately we can't make a home smart without making the power smart. And that is something over the past few years now, Savant has really tried to just drive home to our clients and honestly the public's knowledge of what we can do here at Savant. So is to improve that efficiency, remove that waste, and be a part of that zero emissions timeline. So and we're doing that we have a couple different offerings that really help us bring our Savant Power home, between what we call our flexible load management that allows us to automate and control and monitor the amount of energy that we're using within the home. I think that's one of the clearest things today is that customers or homeowners really don't have a really good grasp of the amount of energy that they're using within the home. We can sell them arrays, we can sell them battery backups, but really, what is the customer using? What are they consuming? And that's one of the neat things is that within our flexible load management, we have that ability to show and expose to the customer what every device in their home is using. And I'm just going to jump into it. One of the neat things that we're excited to announce is that our acquisition and our new introduction of our Savant Power Storage 20, which is a inverter and battery storage solution that enhances our flexible load management. We've been partnering up with some great industry leaders out there, but one of the things that we have found is offering a complete experience for our user base to bring it all home as one device into the system. So we just continue to build upon our smart home story. And this allows us to do just that, is to build off of what we introduced about almost 2 years now. To the renewable side is our flexible load management, and now we have a supporting battery storage and inverter solution all in one that is part of our home business now. So, and then just builds on that experience for what our users have used with Savant for over the past 18 years. So pretty neat to see that within the system as a whole ecosystem. Excuse me. I ramble on sometimes.
No, it's beautiful. Matthew Willbanks from Savant Power joining us today. We're talking all about smart home technology, available here at Soligent. Click on the link below to find out more. Thank you very much for being here, Matthew. Thank you so much, folks, for listening to us here today at the Beyond Emissions podcast. Beyond Emissions by Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. And we have Savant Power available here at Soligent. Click on the link below to find out more. So when I was at a show, I was in Austin, Texas, and I'm there at the RE Plus show, Austin, and the Savant crew is there, and you walk up and you look at, the models of what a smart home looks like. And one of the greatest things I got out of it is that with Savant, any home can be modified into a smart home, right?
Absolutely.
We're not talking big, expensive retrofits, or is this pretty easy? What if I don't have solar? What if I don't have storage and I just want to increase my efficiency and save on my electric bill? How does Savant Power's load management systems and smart home solutions, how is that applicable for those folks?
No, absolutely. Make a great point there. Is the beauty of the Savant flexible load management is really stems around what we call our companion modules, our Savant Power modules that go into the load center. They are unique to the industry in the fact that we work with load centers, that good old garage breaker panel, that load center that's in there. We work pretty much with any load center that is installed today. So if it's a Square D or a Siemens or whatever that backplane, that type of concept for that load center, QO, BR, CH, and all of these are electrical terms of the type of modules that fit into it. But Savant makes our companion modules for those different manufacturers. So you don't have to remove a load center, because that does cost a large amount of labor with that. So we can easily add 1 or 2, 3, 4 modules into a load center and then just shed what the customer needs at that time. And then the beauty of this too is that if you're looking just to shed, maybe you're adding an EV charger into a scenario, and that may be exceeding the possibilities of what that load center can do. We can add that companion module in there and shed that so that we're not exceeding the parameters of that load center. But what we have found is that when we have an installer place a couple modules into a solution, the customer just falls in love with it because they can actually see what they're consuming off of those couple modules that have been installed. So it really leads to that next step of, you know what, customer looking to add and complete their home with flexible load management in a solution where we're working with load centers. It's easy for us to add just a sub-panel of companion modules and to build off of that. So it keeps costs down to the homeowner. What's nice too is that it's part of the Inflation Reduction Act. All falls into the rebate program with that. And it makes a very convenient and easy way to add and flex loads to any home.
Okay, so load shedding. You said that, and I think there are those of us in the business that now we know what that means. But for our listeners, who maybe they've just been installing solar panels and they're just getting into energy storage now, and they hear the concept of load shedding. The customer can shed loads, and what does that mean? In layman's terms, explain that.
Sure.
Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. For sure. So a load, we would be something along the lines of a dryer, the range, an air handler, maybe an EV charger. Any of those are loads in the system. Maybe we have a rec room or children's rooms. We want to turn off those rooms or a guest room that's not being used at a time. All of those between the lights could be a load or the outlets would be a load. And we can control those different loads, those outlets and lights, and shed those in certain times of day usage or different scenarios with power outage or on vacation as well. And to make sure that, some of those electronics that we have sitting on at home that while we're at work, cable box, various things, those vampire loads, we can make sure that they're actually turned off and not wasting fuel and energy that way. So, the flexible load management is definitely an industry term, and even when I discuss that with my parents, they look at me cross-eyed like, what am I saying? So I'm glad you asked me for layman's terms, and I've done exactly that. Mom, it's when the cable box is sitting on and using 100 watts of power just to do that when you're out playing mahjong, so you can turn that off. So she appreciates that when I do break it down a little bit easier for her to understand.
And by the way, folks, when you think about that, when mom's going to play mahjong and she now knows because of her Savant Power app, it's able to show her that cable box, when no one's there, is drawing 100 watts. So let's say that, while you're off and you're not watching TV and maybe it's on and you don't even realize it, that's 100 watts times, let's say 12 hours, that's 1.2 kilowatt hours. And you start adding that up times 365 days a year, even if you don't have solar or storage, but especially if you have solar or storage. That's 1.2 kilowatt hours in a day that your PV array does not have to produce for that load, but can instead use to charge the batteries up, go to other loads that need it, or maybe sell back to the grid and make something for it, right? I mean, these are like little, snowflakes. They all add up together to create one big snowball, right? Like all these little loads matter, don't they, Matthew?
All loads do matter, absolutely. So no, it's and it's wild for us to think about this for how long we've been using electricity these days, and it takes us to 2023 to really start getting this awareness out there of how much energy are we using at home. And as we continue to add more and more IoT, Internet of Things devices into the home, how many more of these little things continue to pull to pull energy from the grid, and we continue to see our electric bills climb and wonder why. So that's why I'm a huge proponent of our flexible load management and how we can see all this information through the Savant Pro app. And it just makes it extremely easy and convenient. We already have our solution for whole home in there now for our whole home control. But to see how much energy my home is using at the same time, I can turn my television on or have access to my thermostat through a Savant system and then manage that and control that and then see an instant change to my energy usage is just phenomenal with what we can do within Savant. So, Josh, I can't thank you enough for having me on here and being able to pontificate about Savant and what we can do for our customers. So
now,
thank you again.
And my pleasure as energy storage manager, batteries, and more batteries, right? That's what I'm all about. And I know folks listening right now, Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas, at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Here with Matthew Willbanks, National Sales Manager with Savant Power. Savant Power helping you to have a smart home, or your customers have a smart home, right? And not only does it help with your bills and shedding your loads, but it really helps to extend the life of your batteries, right? But most folks don't. I mean, you can discharge a battery to 190% depth of discharge every cycle. You can, if you want to get the minimum amount of life expectancy. So you want to try to leave at least 20% of that energy in the battery untouched and fully recharge it every day. And what happens if you've got ghost loads around the house when you're not even at home, sucking that battery dry, you're making it go deeper, discharge deeper, live not as long, basically.
Correct.
You can extend the life of your battery system if you're not taxing it so much because you're working on the efficiency side. We'll go a little bit further. You talked about it a moment ago, about the new ecosystem, Savant Power, with energy storage all in one package. But for folks who are buying a different brand of battery with, say, a solar converter with some home grid batteries or something, right?
Yep.
Or heck, they get another type of battery, whatever it might be. Are there issues with different brands, or does Savant Power come in and play nice with all of them?
So we are new to the space and have been, we've been available for about 2 years in the market now. And Solark and HomeGrid have been our launch partners. And we have a ton of systems out there in the market today using those systems. But one of the things that we have found is that it's important for us to offer a solution that falls all within Savant for servicing and deployment and commissioning a solution. And for us to have and offer a one-stop shop for our installers to, from the inverter to the battery storage to the flexible load management, have one place to call and really, help that installer to get in and out of that project quickly. Our support system is unlike any other out there. So we have that ability where we can address those issues across the board as an installer is in the field putting the system together. So we do have some limitations of who we work with battery management and APIs and so on. But currently Schneider Electric, Fortress, HomeGrid, Solark, those were our launch power partners. And then we have now shipping the beginning of the month, we will have our Savant Power Storage 20 solution, which is a 100 amp solution for our inverter capacity, 12.5 kilowatts. I'll get into a little bit of the nerdy information. Storage capacity, 20 kilowatt hours of storage capacity, and it's using the the lithium iron phosphate chemistry for the battery. So a much safer battery storage within the homes. And then we have various type of communication for that inverter with wired Wi-Fi and LTE communication. And this also allows us to have both new installation of DC coupled solar plus retro applications of AC coupled support for solar arrays, or we can integrate in a standby generator into the inverter as well for a 12.5 installation. One of the cool things that I really love about this inverter and the spec for this is 125 lock rotary amps on this. And why that is important is I'm from the South, born and raised in South Florida, lived through many of the hurricanes down in South Florida, Andrew, Katrina, Wilma, and that is some fun times without having AC in those areas. Well, that 125 LRA allows us to put very large central AC systems and to be powered up with this. No soft start needed, and that's almost the equivalent of a 5-ton unit for that. So in those state of emergencies during hurricane season, having something as powerful as this solution is just unprecedented out there, especially at the price point that these offer at. So just kind of excited about what we can do, what we can offer with this, and the size of the systems that we can power with our Savant Power Storage 20 solution. So, but yeah, and it has a 10-year warranty, 6,000 cycles, and we can do some very cool things with this battery storage in that because we can. The director, that is the brain of a Savant system within Savant Power, the director has the ability to see into what is known as the battery management system, the BMS. Really, it's just a fancy term for seeing what the state of the battery is, how much storage we have within the battery. But we can trigger using our flexible load management, just like you were saying, Josh, is as the battery starts to drop in levels at 80%, at 65%, we can have, or the end user can have, different loads start to shed. Certain loads turn off when we're on that battery. And this allows us to be as efficient as possible to really make sure that that battery lasts as long as possible until we either get power or the array comes back on. So if this is in the middle of the night, how long we can make that battery last. And then at 50%, we can trigger another scene. At 35%, maybe we just want to make sure the freezers stay on at that point. And then, limit how fast we're draining that battery. So with the complete Savant Power ecosystem, we have the ability to manage that energy throughout the system. It just gives us a unique solution for any customer out there.
Yes, unique, and it's available right here at Soligent. Savant Power. Thank you so much, Matthew Willbanks, here with us, National Sales Manager with Savant Power. You're listening to the Beyond Emissions podcast, brought to you by Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. Efficiency. And right now we're talking about homeowners. We're talking about residential, right? Well, right now, commercial, industrial, systems out there, 3-phase, 208-volt AC, 480-volt AC output. Obviously not the energy storage option that we're looking at here. But Savant Power, are you just for residential, or does the load management systems, et cetera, are they available for larger projects? Are there limitations there?
So a little bit of limitations, but we are available for 3-phase systems. Now, our companion modules we make in 3 different sizes. So we make a dual 20 amp 120 volt module that allows for 2 individual relays at a 20 amp maximum with that. And that would be a load or a type of device like outlets, lighting, anything that only needs 120 volts up to 20 amps with that. We make another companion module that is a 30 amp 240. So that one obviously steps it up. We get 2 legs of 120 volts. So more for ranges, dryers, small air handlers, anything that's 240, 30 amps. The next one is a 60 amp 240 volt module. So this one we found that we can obviously do like small water heaters, EV chargers, anything up to that 60 amps. Now, we do have projects out there that are using 3-phase for our flexible load management. Now, mind you, we only make them in a 2-phase solution. So if you are working in a 3-phase solution or have a problem in 3-phase, our largest one is only 240 volts. So we'd have to come up with some unique solutions, possibly using contactors and so on for large 3-phase loads on there to shed those. And which is possible. We can do that. Just like I said, be a little bit more technical on how we set that up. With our inverter and our battery storage, as of today, we are only using, those are only available in a 2-phase solution. So we do not have more of a commercial industrial solution as of today, but that is something that we are looking to develop here in the near future with some of those larger installs. But I'm just excited to see the Savant Power Storage 20 get out the door here right away and start really just offering them to customers that are looking for a mid-level price solution for what we're offering here with this 100 amp. When we launch here in 2 weeks, September 1st, it will be available as a single unit, but approximately about 45 days after that, we'll be able to stack 4 of these in parallel. So really increase the capacity, the inverter output capacity up to 50 kilowatts with those 4 and up to 80 kilowatt hours of storage. And then year's end, first quarter, looking to go up to 800 amps of output with the inverters and stacking up to 8 of those. So as far as the 3-phase and commercial, not just today with the storage, but absolutely with our companion modules. But excited to see the Savant Power Storage come out here for the rest of the end of the year.
Available at Soligent. Yeah, that's right. Savant Power. It's going to be available at Soligent. You're going to be correct. You're going to be at the show in RE Plus in Vegas.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Very excited to be going to RE Plus. InterSolar / RE Plus last year was my first event, and wow, that was just wild. I've 20 plus years in the CI, consumer or custom integration, consumer electronics world, and RE Plus was very exciting. Just extremely neat to see all the changes, how much is offered for consumers these days to go green and renewable energy storage. So many things out there. There's really no excuses for people today. So many tools to be headed that direction to be emission free. So yes, very excited to be at RE Plus here in Vegas in a couple of weeks. So,
and people want to catch up with you there. They want to learn more about Savant. It's a big show. Is it going to be easy to find you? Are you guys already all set up there with your booth?
We are, and I'm going to get in trouble for not knowing our booth number. We will be there, Savant Power. Again, I apologize. I don't know my booth number off the top of my head.
I don't know mine yet. You're okay. We're in good company. I can't remember mine, although it exists. I know it does. I've seen the picture of the booth. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Solarbration at Top Golf. We're going to have a blast. And in addition,
it's going to be great.
you're going to be able to come by the Soligent booth, folks, and you'll see a guy sitting there at a table, and I'm going to have a sign in front of me. It's going to say, "Ask me about batteries." And, that's one thing that I notice every one of these shows. Everyone walks around, they kind of just, pick and choose. They talk to folks, but they all have questions in their mind. And when I dig deeper, that's the biggest question. We don't know anything about batteries. Savant Power tied in, not just the fact that you've got a battery to offer now through Soligent, Savant Power, but turning every single home into a smart home. I think that, when you think about it, folks, we have this magical thing called, a cell phone, right? And back in the day, I remember, I'm 46, I'm dating myself. I still remember being a kid, having a rotary phone in my house. Then we upgraded to the phone on the wall with, the 50-foot cord that wrapped up around itself. And so on. And then all of a sudden Home Shopping Network came along, and you got the cordless phone with the antenna that you pull out, and it's like a 3-foot antenna, and you walk around the house, and this is so cool. And then we have cordless phones that really do work. And then, wow, cell phones. They go from the big box that, is the size of a suitcase to these little things now with screens. And you can do everything, including check out your home power usage and consumption, get reports on your own lifestyle, your energy lifestyle, all from Savant Power. Talk about that. The power in the hands of your customers. Savant Power right there, the app on the phone, that app, there's a lot of power in that app, right? Talk about it.
Sure. So our Pro app has won many awards just for the user experience, ease of use, and honestly, you do not have to be a millennial to understand the Savant Pro app. That is the beauty of this, is it's just simple, clean, elegant, and easy to use. And this is something, I believe our Savant Pro app now has been on the market for about 9 years. And this is something that we have customers from both sides. So Savant Power is our first foray into allowing solar installers to partake into making a customer's home smart. And the Savant Power is a service of the Pro app. So we have customers that have experienced Savant for many years now and have had Savant installed into multiple homes as, customers move around in our great housing boom that we've had, and just have absolutely fell in love with the experience that they have within the Pro app. And our Pro app has many unique features for things like customizing. The end user can customize their experience from creating their own scenes. So us programming nerds would call them macros or programs, but the Pro app allows the customer to really customize any function of a Savant system to something that they can make a one-touch button into. And those same scenes follow into the Savant Power service that we have. So it's neat that we're able to provide this experience both for making power within the home smart, and all the rest of Savant controls, has the ability to control over 10,000 unique products out on the market today. And one of the neat things as well, and we're just extremely trying to embrace their renewable and our offerings into lighting and smart lighting, is that Savant purchased GE Lighting about 3.5 years ago, or a little over 3 years ago now. So again, the efficiency of lighting, light bulbs, and now with lights that change Kelvin temperature, the warmth of a light, we have some unique features that we can do that we'll be offering with our new GE Sync products that says works with Savant will take advantage of unique features that are built into the Pro app called, daylight mode, that allow us to have the lights change and mimic to what we would see from the sun. So in the morning, you would have that warm, low 2200 Kelvin reddish light at dawn. And then throughout the day, as the sun rises, it becomes warmer, brighter, and that light becomes whiter, and those kelvins increase in that temperature. And we can mimic lights within the home now that change from that 2200 Kelvin, ramp up to a warmer, bluer light to be close to 6000 Kelvin, and then in the evening start to ramp back down and get more to that candlelight and get us preparing our bodies for bedtime. So some of the unique features that we have within the Pro app, some of the things that we'll be able to take advantage of with Savant Power here very soon that are on our roadmap. The power is very, very exciting, and to see the production and the consumption, and if we're selling it back in the storage and all of that, but even more of what we can do within the home. Savant really absolutely is unlike anybody else in this market for our offerings for smart homes. So again, Josh, I can't thank you enough for the time here with you and Soligent and allowing me to talk about Savant
and really leveraging and really for Savant Power leveraging artificial intelligence, AI, right? I mean,
not just yet. It's coming, but not yet.
Okay. It is the future.
It is the future. There are some things I'm not at liberty to discuss yet, but there are things that we are looking to do with Savant Power and using AI. And some of those things, just real brief to think about, is that using AI to understand what a load may be using, and then, how often, just think of, you have a personal assistant checking on your power. Many homes around this country use wells for water sources. And one of the problems with wells is, unfortunately, some amount of time, well pumps will fail. And they give some indicators that they're going to fail. It's usually bearings start to go. And when those bearings start to go, you start to see a higher spike in amount of energy to start that pump, or what it may take to turn that pump. And think about AI watching those little changes and then giving you a warning, hey, by the way, we have seen an anomaly in how your well pump is starting up or operating. Maybe it's time to have somebody service it, or maybe it's time to change it. I don't know about you, but I know some of the pricing for having a new well drilled, and it is astronomical to what it was 10 years ago. And to have a well pump fail in the well and then not able to get that out of the well can be $20,000 to $40,000 to have replaced. So, it's not something that is available today, but it's things that we are working towards offering, and that would be a Power AI. So just don't want to offer that today, but it's like I said, it's something that we're working towards.
Yep, in the lab. It's almost here. I love it. Matthew Willbanks, National Sales Manager, Savant Power. Make every home a smartphone, phone. Yeah, using your smartphone, you can make, I did a little slip there. But no, use your smartphone to make your home smart with the Savant Power technology, including coming real soon, available right here at Soligent, energy storage solutions, etc. I am excited to see you at RE Plus in Las Vegas. Matthew Willbanks, National Sales Manager with Savant Power, available here at Soligent. Click on the link below, folks. Find out more. Matthew, thank you so much for being here with us, working in this clean industry, helping us create a world that is beyond emissions. In addition, helping customers save money. It's amazing. Even without solar or batteries, Savant Power can be
Absolutely.
a solution. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for joining us on the program. How can our listeners reach out to you if they have any additional questions or they'd like to talk to you more about Savant Power, Matthew?
Sure, Josh. Available through LinkedIn, Matthew Willbanks, as well as matthew.willbanks@savant.com. And then please check out savant.com/power or just savant.com for that matter. We have updated our website just for an extremely unique user experience for understanding what we can help with power and moving, that investment around on that roof, that on top of their roof or in their field or in their yard, really just to help move that around. But Josh, I greatly appreciate your time and thank you again and Soligent for having me on here. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it.
Excellent. Excellent. More, if you want to catch this on demand, Matthew, thank you so much. God bless. Have a great day. Hang on the line for our engineers. For more on Savant Power, go to Savant Power, their YouTube channel. You can go to our YouTube channel here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Listen to this episode on demand and share it as well. Looking forward also to seeing you and Savant Power. Matthew Willbanks from Savant Power said he'll be there, so that'll be exciting. Renewable Energy Plus, RE Plus, formerly known as SPI, September 11th through the 14th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Going to be a lot of fun. A couple things I want to remind you of. Stop on by our RE Plus booth. We Heart Installers here at Soligent. Booth number 5949. And of course, if you can get a wristband, a ticket, it's a wristband to get into the Top Golf Celebration happening on September 13th, I implore you to do so. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Iron Ridge, Fortress Power, Solark, just amazing people that are going to be there. And you can get your ticket. One way to do it is to stop by one of our sponsors. The other way to do it as well, stop by our booth, 5949. We're talking the entire floor of Top Golf. Taken over by Soligent and you. That's right. Lots of food, delicious drinks, a party, and a great way to have fun and to celebrate, right? Celebration time. Come on. We'll see you there. Renewable energy. It's what it's all about. RE Plus, September 11th through the 14th in Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll see you there. And again, We Heart Installers here at Soligent. I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager and host of the Beyond Emissions podcast, brought to you by Soligent, the largest pure play solar distributor in the Americas. Make sure you check out this episode and all past episodes of the Beyond Emissions podcast at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like this video and subscribe.
We at Soligent are incredibly excited to announce our partnership with Give Power. Well, we wouldn't be here today talking to you about Give Power if it wasn't for our partners, LoanPal. They've been with Give Power since the beginning. Their contribution has given water and light to countless people across the globe. We are truly inspired by LoanPal's dedication to the cause. Something LoanPal said really strikes a chord regarding Give Power, that this is something that's more than money. It's what makes making money more worthwhile. In a lot of ways, that's synonymous with what we're doing here at Soligent.
Here's how you can help.
What we've decided to do is compound LoanPal's contribution by donating to Give Power on every order paid via our direct pay program through LoanPal. That's right. Every time your company uses your LoanPal portal to pay Soligent for material, 5 people get clean drinking water for a full year.
Together we're stronger.
Together, we can choose to be extraordinary by giving to people who live outside our reach. To us, this means a lot more.
Soligent's purpose meets Give Power's mission. Join the impact. Soligent, Solar Engine. SolarEngineSolutions.com. Go there to find out more.